Hi guys, my name is Juliana and welcome to my YouTube channel. Wait, I think there's... Yeah, that's better. Today we'll be talking about the new Netflix release, Malcom Marie. It's been a year since I've done a movie review on this channel because the theaters were closed, there were no theatrical releases of movies I could review. So I was like, okay, why not do something different, you know, movie reactions. Turns out most of you now know me because of my movie reactions. So before I watched the movie, I was like, should I do a movie review about this? Because it's been so long. And then I was like, okay, this movie needs to be talked about. Whether it's in a good way or a bad way, you know, I feel like I can see both sides. Honestly, the reason that I'm doing this review is because I needed someone to talk to after this movie. Like, I need therapy after watching this movie because I felt like I was inside of the fight and I got my feelings involved, you know. So therefore, I needed someone to talk to and I decided to do that with my camera. Okay, so the plot of Malcom and Marie, without any spoilers, in one sentence is Malcom and Marie arrive home from the movie premiere of Malcolm's latest movie, but what was supposed to be the biggest night of his life turned into a huge argument. Literally, that's the story of the movie. There's nothing else to say about that. So my thoughts on this movie are very mixed. I have a lot of mixed feelings about Malcom and Marie. For me, the first half was way stronger than the second half of the movie, and I think that is because in the first half I was really in awe of their acting because honestly, that's one of the best things about this movie, the performances. So I was really invested, like whose side am I on? You know, what is the argument about? Little do I know, the argument was the entire movie. So around the second half of the film, I was like, okay, are we going to do something different now? But no, they were fighting the entire movie. That's literally the film. And in the second half, the fight gets even more loaded, you know? And that makes the movie kind of exhausting to watch. But more on that later. Let's talk about the good things first. So I really love the cinematography. Like, some of the shots were beautiful, you know? And the black and white coloring gave it an extra layer. And I thought that was just so cleverly done because I honestly can't imagine what the movie would be like with color. Besides that, the location where they shot the movie was beautiful and you know, it didn't get boring. The entire movie is in the same place, but it was so beautiful that you didn't really mind it. And like I said, the movie has such great performances by John David Washington and Zendaya. You know, it's so weird because I feel like these are Oscar deserving performances, at least a nomination. Meanwhile, the movie itself, I don't think it's that Oscar worthy. On one hand, you have John David Washington. I think he did a wonderful job. A lot of people, I saw that they were complaining that he overacted some scenes, but I honestly don't think so. I think that is how his character is supposed to be because he's very egotistical and he was drunk for most of the movie. So yeah, if you're drunk, you get extra. So the acting has to be extra as well. But in my opinion, the standout performance is Zendaya in this because wow, if that doesn't prove to you that Zendaya is just an amazing actress, then just go, there's the door. She was amazing. Okay, you know, I believed every word she said. And there's one scene in particular, the scene with the knife. I kept it really vague, so there's no spoilers, but the scene with the knife, you know what I'm talking about. If you saw the movie, bam, bam. If she doesn't get a nomination, I don't even know what to say then. The movie is called Malcom and Marie, but I think a better name would be Malcom versus Marie because they were literally fighting, and actually as an audience member, you kind of felt like you had to pick a side. In the beginning, they had both valid points, but then in the story, there's a scene where Zendaya is in the bathtub. From that point on, it got ugly. It got hella ugly. Like in the beginning, okay, they both weren't subtle in the way they were arguing. Like the first 20 minutes of the movie, I was like, okay, you can get your point across without being that rude. But it got personal after the bathtub scene, okay? Then I was like, okay, I'm Team Marie all the way. And eventually the fighting gets so intense that it kind of turns exhausting, especially because the movie is mostly fighting. You can even argue that it's just fighting, actually. So in the beginning, I was so invested and interested, but as the movie progressed, I was just like, when is this going to be over? And that's not a good sign, okay? That's not a good sign when you think, okay, I'm kind of done, when is this movie over? Then I checked and there was more than half an hour of movie left. So I really pushed through it. That was my main issue with the movie, I think. The movie was too long. It had no structure and there was a lack of story. It was, again, just one big fight. It reminded me of the scene in Marriage Story, you know, where they are yelling at each other. Think about that scene, stretch it out for 1 hour and 40 minutes and put it in a black and white filter. That's Malcom Marie. When the movie ended, I was just so drained and exhausted. I was like, damn, the cinematography is great and the acting is phenomenal, but how can I give this a really positive review if I was like, when is this going to stop? So when the movie initially ended, I was like, okay, I guess I'll rate it a 6 out of 10 because I think the performance really carried the movie and therefore it does deserve a passing grade. But, and there's a but, okay, so I wanted to sleep, you know, because it was late. I was tired because the movie totally bodied me. Okay, I was exhausted, you know, I wanted to go to bed as soon as possible. So I got in bed and I couldn't sleep because I was left with such tension and anger and sadness and I couldn't sleep. The movie really stuck with me, like it gave me a certain feeling and I kept that feeling for hours, you know. I watched it around 10 in the evening and I fell asleep around 3 in the morning. You might ask yourself, where is this going, besides the fact that you shouldn't watch this movie at night. When I woke up, I realized that I was supposed to feel this way. Because when I thought of it, I really felt like I was inside the argument. Thinking back about how I watched the movie, at certain scenes I literally was like, okay, I hate you, fuck you. Like if I was in that situation, I would clap back. I got angry, you know, at the opposite party and therefore I wanted to, I don't know, do something, you know, give Malcom a piece of my mind because I'm not the type of person to let the shit that he said in the movie slide like that. No. And when the fight got really ugly, like really ugly, and he said the most hurtful things, I felt like he was talking to me. I felt attacked. I felt hurt for Marie. So that's why I couldn't sleep. Their performances were good. It's one thing if they're just good. But the way John David and Zendaya portrayed their characters literally dragged me in the movie and made me exhausted. Then I thought of that word, and that word exhausted was literally used so many times in the movie. Like Malcom, for example, he legit said, Marie, I always have to fight with you. You're so exhausting. And I'm pretty sure Marie said, I'm getting tired of your shit. You know, and it legit made me feel tired because it made me feel like I was inside of the fight. Malcom and Marie is not a fun experience. It's a good movie, but is it fun? No. But the movie achieved its purpose and goal, which is to get under your skin, to make you feel like you were inside of the fight. So I don't necessarily think the question is this a good movie? In my mind, the question is this your type of movie? I can understand if you truly hated this movie. Like, I don't like to be triggered like that. I watch movies to be entertained. But then again, that wasn't the goal of this movie. And it achieved its goal. So it's really hard to rate. I do give them props for getting me that emotionally invested, even if it's just in your subconscious mind. Because of all of that, I think a 6 out of 10 is maybe too low. So my final score, guys, I rate Malcom and Marie a 7 out of 10. And shortly addressing the controversy of the age gap between Zendaya and John David, where was this energy when Call Me By Your Name came out? I'm just saying. I feel like the only reason why people have a problem with this age gap is that Zendaya started out on Disney Channel and still has this child star image, you know. Meanwhile, she is a grown-ass woman, 24 years old. Come on, guys. Stop it. It never felt creepy to me or anything like that. I think people are overreacting. Anyway, guys, have you seen Malcom and Marie and what are your thoughts on it? Let me know down below. Like, subscribe and share if you care. You can also follow me on my Instagram. Okay, guys, that's it. Ciao.